Click, click. Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Man, what a nice looking sky. I wonder if that's actually a storm going on. What are we looking at? What are we? We are in Brooklyn, New York in July of this year around 9:30 at night. Kind of looks like there's a little bit of a lightning storm going on, but it could just be... Oh, obviously, it's July 4th. Fireworks going off. I put 2 and 2 together. July, flashes in the sky. Yeah. Anyway, hi, welcome to the stream. I am One Lion. Today is Monday Day. It is going to be a different kind of Monday. We're going to wrap up our project that we've been working on the stream for a million billion years. Here it is. If you're interested in seeing it, it is open source. It is available on GitHub. It will continue being available on the GitHubs even after we finish up whatever we're going to work on. I hope to get it done in today's stream, but there's a possibility it'll take longer than I expect it to, because we're going to go at whatever pace we go at. And I don't know what all things will get caught. Oh, I know what that is. Okay, I need this. I need this. I need this. I need a browser window over there from you. So give me this browser window. Open up the project. All right, is everything ready? I think everything is ready, so I will go ahead and switch to the desktop scene, provided my desktop scene is the right scene. It is. So here we go. Ooh, itchy back. Oh. So as I mentioned, we will be wrapping up this project, and the final thing that we talked about doing for the project is a .NET 8 upgrade. And my assumption is that this will be the same type of process that you would do for a .NET 9 update as well, going from .NET 5, 6, or 7 to one of these .NET 8 or 9, 8 or above. I'm hoping they don't change project templates too much in .NET 9. I've only seen a little bit of what's to come in .NET 9, and then I've forgotten most of it. But I know it's all stuff that I want to use, or at least a lot of it, most of it from the C# language update. But, so here's where we're at. We have this application that we redesigned the landing page for. It runs the way that we expect it to. And it does all of the things that we want it to do. We got that done a while ago. Cool. Scooch. But the thing that is currently in main, which should be the only actual branch with content until today, yeah, is the revamped landing page, and all of the rest of the functionality should still be good to go. It'll work fine. It just won't have all of the UI. It won't look good together. So here's where we are. And there's also no way for you to get to the data entry page unless you know the URL for it. So this is what the data entry page would look like as you're using the app. It does eventually connect to the backend services, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know why that took so long. That really shouldn't have taken that long. But yeah, you can use it. You can enter transactions. You can create accounts. You can track stuff. A little bit of list management type stuff. Again, all of these pages, these data entry pages, would also need a revamp, a UI revamp, which I am planning to do on my own outside of the stream. On Friday, we had a vote for what content to continue with since we were wrapping up that main landing page UI redesign. which I think turned out pretty nicely. Oh, you're too tall. I think it turned out pretty nicely. It works responsive, and yeah, I'd say it's pretty decent overall. For not being a UI designer by trade, just trying to learn more and using this as a way to learn more about UI design, I'm happy with it ish. So anyway, that's where we're at. So the only other thing that we're going to do with this app, I think I already said it like 8 times already, is upgrade to .NET 9. So to do that, let's start by figuring out what this changes, and then we'll create a branch. Oh, the JavaScript interop got recompiled, but it's not really a change. So if I were to stage this, there'll be nothing to stage because the files are the same. It's probably just during the rebuild. So let's create a branch. We're going to call it, oh, do we have a task for it? Issue. Oop. So let's create a new issue first, and then we'll create a branch for it. Upgrade to .NET 8. It's self-explanatory, so I'm not gonna do anything. It's a chore. Task. So I didn't realize that chores were actually supposed to be, oh no, never mind, not specific to task or, okay, project will be this one, and that's it. Submit. Okay, so 55, and the naming convention that we used before was task slash and then the number, I think. So task 55, upgrade to 8. Okay, so we have a branch to work in, and as I mentioned before, this should be relatively simple, so don't blink, otherwise you might miss it. So I'm going into the Financial Man server project, and I'm changing this to 8. And we're done. That's the upgrade, right? Just kidding. So I am going to do something pretty similar to that, though. It's going to be fun, and we'll address whatever happens afterwards. I know that we'll need to I guess to outline it, we'll need to change the target framework. That's going to be where I start. Update the NuGet package references, make sure it builds, and then we're going to recreate a new .NET Blazor web app using that template. So let's start with changing all of the target frameworks in the entire solution. Then we'll go into manage NuGet. I mean NuGet package manager. Although I don't know if I want to do that with these. This is an external library. That's not the external library. No, it's not in here. Okay, I don't have a direct reference to the external Blazor component library from our repo. Okay, cool. Great. Fantastic. So we want to upgrade everything. Let's just see what happens when we update all, since the latest of everything should be. Hello, Big Amy. So good to see you. Have you been well? I haven't seen you for a while or heard anything. Kind of afraid to reach out because I didn't want to step on your toes or anything. But hi, how are you? How have you been? tell us everything about what's happened since the last time we saw you live. Yeah, this one. Yes, I'm asking you, Big Gamey. Quick shout out for Big Gamey. We'll hopefully be able to do one again later, if you are still planning on streaming in the future. It's a trauma dump. Well, you are absolutely welcome to. If you do need anyone that you want to talk to, feel free to do so. Feel free to reach out off stream, on stream, wherever you feel is appropriate. So all we're doing right now is just updating the target framework and NuGet package references for all of these projects. And that's how we're doing a .NET 8 upgrade. And then we're going to figure out what issues we run into. And I assumed we were going to run into some issues with Maui. I forgot to mention that. So Maui is going to be a great one to try to figure out what to do with. Let's just see what happens if we update these .NET versions to .NET 8. Reload. Okay, so some of the NuGet updates failed. Let's refresh. All right, let's try that again. I'm not sure if I will stream again, so no need for shoutouts. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I will try to remember in the future, but hope we get to see you around a lot still. Hey, the archery game worked. Look, it worked on the first try. Oh, it worked-ish. I forgot to tell the LLM to load the model. Well, that's good to know. Load. All right, but you should still be able to shoot and everything should work. And by the time you are finished with your third round, the model will be loaded and ready to give a response. What? The arrow is... What? What? How in the world? I saw it. I saw the arrow go all the way through the target. I saw it. You get 1,000,000 points for that. You got cheated. Is this all WP? Oh, WPF as well. Man, I kind of want to get rid of and recreate the WPF and Maui projects because I'm pretty sure these are going to be the things that cause the most headache. Why can't I save this? Save all. Yeah. You're not going to have a target framework of .NET Core. Okay, who else? Let's continue checking on the NuGet packages. Oh, do I have you in the rotation for automatic shoutouts? Stream elements. stream elephants. So once again, if you missed it on Friday, we had a vote for what kind of content we're going to continue with on stream after we finish this .NET 8 upgrade. We had the option of continuing the financial management tracker UI update, which, yeah, I'll get to that. The option of my normal workday and the normal workday streams. Yeah, we'll talk about all this. I'm not going to talk about each of the options, but there were 3. What was the third one? UI update for financial management tracker, stream my normal workday, my work product, or do the bot, like devote a few streams in succession to doing the bot remake, which is going to be an open source Blazor bot, or it's going to be an open source bot that has the option to have a Blazor UI on top of it, but you can use whatever UI you want if you clone the library yourself. Okay, chatbot, timers, other streamers. Yes, you are. Okay, so let's remove. I need to update my other streamers rotation shout out. You're at the bat. It's an archery contest. What do you mean, bat? Oh dear BitGaming, it looks like the arrow fell short and didn't make it to the target. As a result, your score remains at 0 points. Unfortunately, you've run out of chances to improve your score. Keep practicing and honing your skills. The highest possible score in the game is 100 points. You better be sorry. Automated roams. Okay. I'm distracting myself. We're gonna finish this up. So we had those 3 options. The one that was chosen was the Stream Your Work product. What that entails is that I will be. Don't want to say that yet. There is one more thing that I forgot to ask you guys, the viewers, about what you would want to see in future streams. I need mental cognition. I need to be able to think in order to ask about that. All right, I'm going to stop looking at our upgrade process, but I forgot to mention that there is another option. So right now, in order to be fair to the one person that voted, I want to make sure that I don't step on their vote because it matters. No one else voted. They were the only one that voted and had an opinion, so we're going with that. But at the same time, one of the things that I started, which I'm really excited about, is there is a private server called L2J, which is a Lineage 2 server, and there's a Java version online that you can get. I'm pretty sure everything about getting the server source code is legal. I don't think that there are any issues there. And what I want to do is something that Nick Chapsis started a while ago, or tried to do a while ago, I don't know, which is to convert this server from Java to C#. And so if that sounds like interesting content to you, Lineage 2 is an MMO with fantasy style settings, and it's a lot of fun. I love it so much. Actually, funny you should ask, Rollers. The short answer is no, and I'll tell you why in a second. But yeah, so I'm gonna ask again a little bit later in the stream, maybe in about 30 to 40 minutes, if you would prefer to see my normal workday again. So same option that one on Friday, or the L2J server, I don't know, migration, conversion from Java to C#. Because right now I'm editing the code on our local server in Java, and it's not very easy to do. Okay, so Rollers is here and asks, I have a question. Are you open to making the financial tracker repo part of the Hacktoberfest? So I'm okay with the repo itself being part of the Hacktoberfest, but I won't be working on it anymore after today, after we're done with the .NET 8 upgrade, because we had a vote on Friday for what content we're going to go forward since we ended the UI redesign of the landing page process, and the vote was strongly in favor of, there was one person that voted in favor of doing my work products on stream. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit once we're done with the full .NET 8 upgrade. Okay, so there are some issues. We need to figure out which of these issues are actual issues and which are because of things like .NET MAUI or UWP or WPF. So the way we're going to check that is we're going to create a new configuration thingy, copy settings from debug, and we're going to call it web projects only. Yeah, I hope that answered your question. If you have follow-up on that, please feel free to ask. And we're going to get rid of MAUI. We're going to get rid of WPF and UWP. And for now, tests. We're going to get rid of those from the build so that we can build and see if there are any actual errors. And there are. Oh, ooh. There were errors in the Thindle source gen? Shouldn't be. You shouldn't have changed. Yeah, you're still net standard 2.0. Oh yeah, I'm gonna close and reopen Visual Studio since we did the net 8 retargets. Hi, Fresh Meat. How are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. We're going to wrap up the financial management tracker today. Shh, I'm still hiding. Hiding from whom? And yeah, looking at it at this size, the application at this size, I really like how it turned out. I do. It's just when we get to those larger viewport sizes and I'm like, it could be better. Like this section here. Mobile view I'm happy with-ish too. Did you load already? I can see you, says Big Gamey to Fresh Meat. So I'm not sure you're going to win Hide and Seek Champion 2024. Damn it. Try harder. Okay, AWS toolkit is not properly installed. That's fine. That's okay. We aren't deploying at the moment. Okay, so we are still getting build errors. Current SDK does not support targeting .NET 8. For what? For what projects? Finding Man client and server. The original Blazor WASM application. You cannot retarget to .NET 8. Or use a version of the .NET SDK that supports .NET 8. I was hoping we could do an in-place upgrade to .NET 8, but that doesn't seem like it's the case. And it's weird, not really weird. What I did in the other applications that I've already updated to .NET 8 is I just created a new Blazor web app. But I remember leaving the .NET 7 versions, or .NET 6 versions is what they would be, alone. And it's because they had NuGet references to the Blazor component library. But no, I updated the component libraries that are specific to the project too. Interesting. Big gaming. So Freshie is like, how about this, Lurk? And Big Gaming is like, has anyone seen Freshie today? Okay, so we're just gonna do, man, I really thought that there was a way to do a in-place upgrade for Blazor WebAssembly, but it kind of seems like, at least without looking further into it, we're being forced into needing to create a Blazor web app .NET 8 project. So let's do that. Wow, great job, Big Gamey. So says Automated Realms. Welcome back, TBD Gamer. Shout out for TBD Gamer. He had a great stream this morning. TBD Gamer. So Automated Realms was like, wow, great job, Big Gamey. You not only managed to hit the target, but your score of 24 was impressive. It's a pity that there are no more tries left, but the highest possible score was 100 and your best shot was very close. You scored 24 out of 100. Better than some. Well done. He's like, is 24 impressive though? And Automated Realms is like, well, Big Gamey, it's always impressive to see someone improve their skills over time. A score of 24 out of 100 is not bad at all, considering you started with a score of 0. Keep practicing and you'll see your score rise even higher. TBD is like, just be thankful Automated Realms didn't say get good, which is pretty much what he said to TBD. But anyway, TBD Gamer works on a project management and planning. How about if I say it that way from now on? A project management and planning platform for software developers and the industry in general. And it is currently pretty, like, it's getting close to usable from what I can see. There are some quirks and some interesting things happening, but for the most part, the architecture is there. I work on a thing and look like a complete amateur, especially today. No, you were great. You were doing really good. It's so good to see someone working through the issues that they face in software, even if it seems to be something that's simple like copying a value into the wrong field. It's like, we do that. It's real. This is real life. This is software development. And so, yeah, I thought it was really, really beneficial to see, as well as really cool because you worked through it. You got it done. It was awesome. So anyway, he calls his app Liquid Sky, and we'll let it use auto. Auto's fine. Valiboo says, yo, did you finish the project you worked on for your work? I remember while you were streaming it. We are going to be getting back to streaming it. So right now we are finishing up the last bits of the financial management tracker stream project, because on Friday there was a vote for, oh, you're so close. There was a vote for what content to go forward with now that I'm at a position where I can stream my work product again. And the result was that at least one person wanted to see the work product, but then again, only one person voted. So, but I am also going to give one more option that I completely forgot about. And that option is that I've been wanting to convert this L2J repo, this Java private server, from Java to C#. And so if you are more interested in seeing that kind of work, which is what my job started as, it's converting a whole bunch of Java applications to .NET. If you want to see that kind of work, then we could do that. And Lineage 2 is just like nostalgia center for me, and oh, I love the game so very much. The Lineage Classic, essentially, and not whatever Lineage Classic or Lineage 2 Classic has become now either. But the Lineage 2 that I remember. And so this server is up through Lineage, is up through High 5. The High 5 update. Okay. So yes, we have the Blazor web app. I'm going to create a new solution folder called Blazor web app. And I'm going to put both of these in there. Okay. And I am simply going to take all of our client and server setup stuff, make sure that I reference the right things here. So we need a reference to Blazor UI and shared client. No, I'm already confusing them. So Blazor UI and shared client. And then shared server on the server. Cool. Shared localizations, I think, is referenced in Blazor UI, so we get it transitively. Yes. Wait, shared components and hello? Regular shared? Yeah, shared localizations. Okay, good. So if you missed what we started with, I know that I kind of just went through it pretty quickly. And what we are actually doing today, we are doing a .NET 8 upgrade from .NET 7. Is that what you were before? From .NET 7 to .NET 8 in our stream project. And this is the last thing we're going to do on this project. So the first thing that I started with was just retargeting all of the projects that were targeting .NET 8 to target .NET. Sorry, that were targeting .NET 7 to target .NET 8. Then I tried to do a NuGet update, a NuGet package update for all of the projects, and found that it seemed like they worked, but the Blazor WASM and Blazor server only templates, project templates, said we have an issue with supporting targeting .NET 8. So you need to use a new version. And that is, actually no, it's only the client project, the client and server projects of the Blazor WebAssembly. So what I'm doing is I'm getting all of the information from those two projects, and then I'm going to delete them and then have the brand new Blazor web app template point to the app.razor. Actually, it's going to be routes.razor, but app.razor and all that from the Blazor UI. So this thing here. And it's going to be good. And then we're going to be done. And then we can decide where to go from there. I do have some housekeeping and what's the other word I was going to use? I guess just housekeeping and logistics surrounding how or what streaming my day job would look like going forward. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's finish this first. I think I can stop repeating myself now. Okie dokie. You don't need this message. Go away. You're confusing me. I am moving imports, for example. I am moving not index.html because we aren't using index.html anymore. I didn't know that you get an app settings for free in your client-side stuff. Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder if that ships with the actual application when you deploy it. Very weird. Okay. It was a progressive web app before when, the .NET. Sorry, the Blazor WebAssembly version is a progressive web app. I don't think we're going to need that. At least not at the moment. If we do, we'll add a service worker, copy it from another template somewhere. But for now, that just kind of makes it harder to deploy new static assets and have them update correctly, etc., etc., etc. So our client side for Blazor WebAssembly is pretty thin. The only thing that we need from it are the services then. And I do think we need to add a HTTP client if I remember correctly. Yeah. So we'll add that. Look at the HTTP client. Okay, and then once it decides that it wants to give us some linting, we get some IntelliSense stuff. Hello? That's fine. We're just going to leave that as is for now. Server-side stuff. So now we're going to go over to Blazor Server, which is the API. Not the actual CS proj. Come on. Oh, man. Actually, what was that you were referencing over here? Client project. Yes, of course. And shared server. And those are the only two. Good. Oh. And so that I don't have to update my cigarettes, I will just copy the cigarettes file. So if you've ever done this on a local machine where you're trying to add a new project, but you don't want to have to specify different user secrets for every single project and like keep them up to date, if you use the same ID for your user secrets, then it'll just have the same contents because it's referencing the same file on that system. So if I went into my user cigarettes now, then we would see the same user secrets file as if I went to user secrets from here. It's the same file. Okay. These are project references. I like having them in their own group. And let's grab program CS for the server, which again, I think we still need to add a dependency injection for the HTTP client when we're upgrading to .NET 8 using this template. Why do I keep double clicking on the project like it's gonna expand? Okay, I do want controllers with views. I don't know why. I just want controllers by themselves, not really controllers with views. And eraser pages, which I think we have, is going to be a lot of fun trying to remember how the upgrade process works. So we might make some mistakes going through this, but I'm trying to go with the things that I can remember. Oh my gosh, control key, work with me. I may as well grab the app settings. Not that we really need it for the client side stuff, but I mean, if this is going to be an open source project, then it would make sense to have an app settings that is representative of what your secrets should look like. May as well use the HTTP file that we were using before to test the API. And what else do you have? The controllers themselves. So let's pull over the controllers, and you're going to see me drop them into the main application or the project folder first. And the reason for that is because I want to have it rename space them when I move them into the controllers folder, because lazy. And so now all of these should have the namespace from the filename app. Man, where's all of my... Oh, geez. Where's all of my IntelliSense? I think we're going to have to close and reopen Visual Studio again. All right, what do you have as far as static resources? Nothing. All of my static resources I usually keep in my Blazor component library. That way, any of the application types can use the same resources like the CSS, images, JavaScript. That all stays in the component library. I just found closing Visual Studio and leaving it closed worked for me. Perfect. I'll try it. Okay. So I'm gonna do that. Actually, first, because I didn't grab the rest of the setup. There is some more information that I need for the setup. Right. One thing that does happen quite often is that we get these two profiles, the HTTP and HTTPS. And when you do .NET Watch, it'll choose one, and it's the first one in the list, which is HTTP, even though the HTTPS one runs on both HTTP and HTTPS. So I delete it as I go away. Otherwise, I'd have to specify the launch profile switch in my .NET Watch. I also believe that I want to reuse the port that this one was using, 7176, for my sanity. And what was your HTTP port? Not that we use the HTTP port ever. 176. and then I don't use the IIS one, but I leave it there in case I ever want to. Man, this has almost been an hour already. Gosh. I was like, yeah, upgrading to .NET 8 is easy peasy. You just change the version number, and I honestly did at least foresee that we would need to create a new Blazor web app project. So at least I didn't delude myself there. But I did have the hope that we could also just upgrade the Blazor WebAssembly and Blazor server versions. Blazor server version worked. This builds, I'm pretty sure. Why are you trying to build everything else? I only wanted to build this one. I don't know why it's not just building Blazor server. That's so weird. Hi, President Not Sure. President Not Sure says, yeah, if you didn't have any complex projects or any dependencies, update from one .NET version to another is easy. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't call any of these really complex dependencies either. It's just that the Blazor WebAssembly template doesn't support .NET 8. So we're just gutting it, ripping it apart, and yeah, putting everything in a new Blazor project. So with that, I'm pretty sure we took everything we needed now from the Blazor server version. We will need to tell this thing that we have additional assemblies in the Blazor UI project. So may as well do that now. I think this is a params array. It's just we're not going to see the IntelliSense until we are restarted, most likely. So finan man Blazor UI. How did I put this? Just like that. Imports assembly, and this way it'll know to use the Blazor UI to find routable pages. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to route to pages in here. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna call that good with everything that we need for our server-side services, for our client-side services being injected correctly. And I am going to gut out the Maui, UWP, and WPF projects. I'll get rid of this build configuration profile, and we can recreate those if we want to in the future. We're going to gut the Blazor WebAssembly. Gut. We're going to rip it out. And all I did there was just open the folder in Windows Explorer so that I can actually delete it from disk after removing it from the project. We're going to kill the Blazor server and the server side of the Blazor WebAssembly. Get rid of you. We don't need the folders for these anymore. I'll keep the folders for Maui UW. No, I'll just clean it all up. When we're ready to add the Maui and WPF projects, we'll create a new folder for them. Okay, so the only thing that we're left with is the Blazor web app project, which is referencing the UI and the appropriate Blazor shared client, not Blazor, the appropriate shared client or shared server libraries. And with that, we're going to close and reopen Visual Studio once again. I love being able to just delete things. All right, so on disk, I am also deleting the project folders for WASM, UWP, WPF, and server only, and Maui. Is that everything? That's everything. Permanently delete Shift delete. So if I grab the wrong one, oh no, I'm in trouble. It's like, I don't want to delete. Are you gonna? Did you? Did I not actually click yes or select OK? Oh, there it goes. I just didn't see the working window open. All right. So there we go. Cleaned up. Do we have IntelliSense yet? Do we have linting? Do we have... No. No, we don't. All right, let's just try another build. Doesn't work. Let's get rid of web projects, configuration. How do we actually delete a configuration profile? I think we have to do that in the CS proj files. No. Project properties. Startup project, the app, please. Dependencies, source configurations. Yeah, I don't actually know how to delete a configuration profile. Whoops. I have to look that up to clean that part up. Okay, we tried to build and we got build errors still. Models. The .NET SDK does not support targeting .NET 8. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that I don't have .NET 8 installed? Is that what this whole thing was? I love this message. The symbol generator initialization context is banned for use by analyzers. Yeah, it would be funny, wouldn't it? Again, I'm looking like an amateur now, which I am absolutely okay with. Yeah, like it's happening on the brand new .NET 8 project. PowerShell. .NET version. Sep. You know what I think it is? I really need a solution items folder. I do have a solution items folder. Yep, TBD Gamer knew right off the bat. There it is. There it is. So options are... So part of your .NET 8 upgrade is to remember to check for any relevant... Thank you. Oh, I was looking forward to that sound. Look forward to any relevant global.jsons file and either delete them if you're just going to use the latest version of .NET, or upgrade them to the version that you should be using for your project. And I think I'm just going to delete it, is what we're going to do. So I need to go to the solution folder, find my globals.json, and delete it. Man. So what that means is that it is possible, entirely possible, that the I know. We're getting there. Give me a sec. Now it's like, I want to build. it's possible that this would have worked. So we're most likely going to, after we verify that this builds as is, I'm going to restore the WASM project only and see if that still builds, to see if it is feasible to just upgrade your version number to .NET 8 and your NuGet packages. All right, so let's install our MS build for any of our TypeScript files that need to be transpiled to JavaScript. Successfully installed. And what about in that project? Successfully installed. Reload projects. And now if we look at our program.cs, yay! Yokata! All right. I don't know why I'm using config directly here. We could just use builder.configuration. Maybe we can't because my keyboard is wigging out. If I shake it like a moneymaker, it'll do what I want to do, right? Speaking of builder.conf, oh man, is it the source gen? Usually when I have the source gen open, it yep, it doesn't let me use control, my control key. It's so weird. Okay, so setup DB context comes from finan man shared server extensions. Okay, and then fluent validation comes from shared client, I want to say. Oops. Or maybe just shared. I think maybe just shared. Yeah. Nice. I remembered a thing. Good to go with that. It even found the imports from the reference Blazor UI library. Gosh, I kind of just want to start this whole thing over and show that yes, it really is just a change your target framework to .NET 8, upgrade all your NuGet packages, and you'd be good to go. And then we would go through this process of adding a Blazor web app template, just so that we have the new Blazor web app template. Okay, same with you. Oh no, keyboard, no, I mean mouse. Let's try this again. Control dot using arigato, then using finan shared client extensions, and also shared extensions, and state management comes from Blazor UI. JavaScript modules? Where do you come from? Have you tried using... Oh, I haven't. That would be another cool thing to try. We can definitely create a branch to try that, Rollers. Yeah, that's a great idea. Shared components. Extensions. Okay, that fixes all of that. Let me grab your message so that I don't forget it, because I'm trying to get through this part so that we can talk about the future of the stream and stuff, which we will. And then a note to myself that we do this on main branch. Just create another branch to test that out on. In fact, we can do that. Yeah, instead of undoing all of the changes that I've made so far, we're just going to create a new branch off of main and then go through the same process again and see if we can do it relatively easily once we figure out what our pitfalls are. So right now we still aren't building. And if we go up to this very first one, it's because we aren't allowed to use the generation initialized context version. Gosh. I think we're just going to get rid of the source generator code because that seems to be causing a bit of issue. All right, let's get some real errors now. There. Okay, nav menu, multiple components use the tag nav menu. That's not a real issue. Multiple components use the tag nav menu components from nav menu. Yeah, right. Okay, so I think we need to finish with the full integration of using only the Blazor UI for this. So as I mentioned, we get some components for free, and I talked about the app.razor, which is what is called routes in the Blazor web app template. So this routes here is actually what we have previously from .NET 7 and before, just called app.razor. So all we're going to do is point this app.razor to use app.razor from FindAndMan Blazor UI. Why aren't you finding? Okay, so that built successfully, but why aren't you finding? Right. So what I keep thinking, and I know that this is true, but I've had to do this in all of my .NET 8 upgrades. I keep thinking that my component library is transitively dependent. The dependency is transitive and goes through to the app project in the new Blazor web app template. So my FindAndMan app client depends on FindAndMan.Blazor UI, and FindAndMan app depends on FindAndMan app client. Therefore, FindAndMan app should depend on Blazor UI, right? But if we look here at app.razor here, it can't even find FindAndMan Blazor UI. Oh, it does. It does find it though. What's your namespace? FindAndMan Blazor UI. What? Why do you suppose it's not finding this? Let's maybe change this. Let's add routes .razor and .razor.cs. And we'll get the code from Jew. Yeah, it's acting like app is not a Blazor component, even though it is. That's fine. It's fine. I don't care. We'll just get rid of app. I'm fine with that. Then we'll tell this thing these routes, which it can find. Awesome. And we will get rid of the routes from the client because we just replaced it. Is there anything that we want to steal from it? No. We get rid of that, which then means that we get rid of any pages because we're not using the pages, and layout because we're not using the layout or nav menu. So now this app here points to the routes in our component library that we were using for all of the other apps, which means when we get it to build and we try to run it, we'll see something relatively similar. The thing that I forgot to grab was the CSS links from the WASM client. And maybe the shortcut, the fave icon. No, that's in the component library. Denied. Yeah, so if I recall correctly, there is a context menu item now for upgrade. I think that's what Rollers is talking about. So we're going to try that soon-ish. App about Razor. We aren't using Bootstrap. We aren't using... hey, we do have a fave icon, though. That's new. Except that I do have a fave icon that we're going to use. So we don't need this stuff. So that's gone too. I love deleting things, don't you? So much fun. What else was I missing? Right, then the bundled CSS that's going to get generated is now going to be fineandman.app.styles.css. Oh, and it's here, just to prove it. No, I was cheating and I was looking at it down there. And actually, I want to keep this one. Why is that one backwards the way that I usually do it? Weird. Okay, and we are in interactive mode auto, which means that on first run, it's going to run as Blazor server unless it's like able to lightning fast download the WebAssembly runtime, and it's available by the time it does the check for is the WebAssembly runtime available. But then from every point then on, as long as the runtime has been cached, it'll just use WebAssembly. And that's going to make for a very, very fast start. It's going to look really nice. What else am I missing? Anything? We've linked our main entry point to our Blazor UI. We have done all of the injects, done all of the dependency injection setup in the program.cs for the server/main application and the client portion of that. I don't think this actually needs any imports either. I don't really know what to use the app settings on the client for. Maybe it's to do with debugging, because I really want to know if we deploy this, will we be able to get to app/app settings.json and that'll get served, or if that gets ignored. Okay, built. It got further. Aha, we're really close. Does this have to do with nullability? I guess we can make you full screen. I don't know why I was working on such a narrow screen. Yes, this has to do with nullability, which also means... yeah, it's just nullability. It's fine. this thing does have nullability in the service that it's pointing to. All of these return OKs. I've gone back and forth a few times, but I think I prefer the method body expressions version when the only thing it does is returns a thing. But since this entire file doesn't have that applied, I'm not going to go through and apply that now. I was just pointing it out. That's all. What else? We have another nullability issue. Yeah, and you can see it in this file where I have them all as... Oh yeah, and that's the other thing that I've been going back and forth on, which is, do I put the arrows up here, or as some people say, goes to? Do I put that up here on this line, or do I put that on the line with the return? And my final decision so far, until it changes again, is to put it on the next line so that you can see that this is an actual return. We should have others that are like this then. Oh, come on. Okay, and then app could not be found here, so we need a new namespace for find-and-man. No. Wait, what? Why can't you find app anymore? Build. You're lying to me. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So it actually does find it. I don't know why it's saying that it doesn't find the symbol currently, but it definitely found it. Let's do a clean and build. And make sure that everything still builds. Bye. 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 Baby, bye, 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 bye. Yeah, likely ban evader my butt. Okay, anyway. Good. So I didn't see. Did we build successfully? No. What happened here? Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Don't freak out. Why are you still... All right, one more Visual Studio, close and reopen. I don't like seeing red squigglies when they don't belong. I don't know if that is an issue with the Roslyn compiler with some kind of linter or what, or just because of the way that I do things. Like, is it just behavior that isn't expected a user to take? But I do know that it happens too often that I lose my syntax highlighting. And I get squigglies where I shouldn't get squigglies. I know about the AWS thing. But thank you for reminding me. I will continue forgetting. Okay, it looks like it built successfully. So we should be able to cd into... Oh, wait. One last thing that I want to verify is that all of the NuGet packages are up to date now that we have the .NET 8 runtime or SDK reference correctly, and we should be able to update to the latest. Yeah, okay. Package restore failed for tests. Version conflict between angle sharp and tests. Great. Great. Well, it's a good thing we don't care about these tests right now. And whatever version it's using doesn't seem to conflict with .NET 8, so we're good to go. All right, so we CD into the FinanMan app project and ultimately the FinanMan app. So I don't like this either, but I don't know what a good solution is. When you create a new Blazor web app template or a Blazor web app project from the template, it creates your project or your folder structure such that there is this top level folder that contains the two projects needed for the Blazor web app. One of them is the server side thing that is not just Blazor server, but the overall shared library for the client as well, and the API if you have it do API calls. And the other one is the client side. And so they're both in this folder, but the folder's name is the same as the main project's name. And then there's the .client inside of there. And I don't know a better way that they could have had it default to create the folder structure. But the same thing happens with the solution. If you create a brand new solution named FinanMan app, then the solution's name is FinanMan app. The folder that contains the two Blazor web app projects is called FinanMan app. And then the folder that contains the main Blazor web app project itself is FinanMan app. So you get 3 FinanMan apps. And then you wonder why we complain about having file names that are 1024 characters or larger, 24, whatever that, 2048 characters. And we want to be able to build projects with longer than 2048 characters in their file path. Okay, rant over. Let's see if this runs. Now watch. It's looking good so far. Unable to use package asset to cache IO. I don't know why. That's fine. We have a couple of warnings for missing XML comments for public members. Oh. It ran and it looks exactly the way that we left it last. So let's check out our API backend as well. So if I go to the data entry pages, there are some database calls. And there we go. There is no registered service on UI state. And again, this is one of those situations that I'm fuzzy on. Right now we have a dependency injection set up for adding state management to the client. But because this ran in Blazor server, it didn't really run the program.cs for client. So I'm thinking that all of these client side services also need to be dependency injected here. Oops, I meant here in the main Blazor web app. I have tried doing it only here. But then when it runs in Blazor WebAssembly mode, it doesn't have the dependency injection for the .client stuff. Can I get the namespace? Because I'm lazy. Blazor UI. Which one were you? This one. And of course, the other thing that I do when I do a .NET 8 upgrade, I don't know if you saw, but this file has the normal block namespace. I tend to like the file scoped namespace better just because it gets rid of one indent and it does make my code easier to read when I have it on a narrower screen. But I would go through and do all of the nullability issues if there were any new ones. I'd update my collection initializers to use the new syntax. I would take advantage of a lot of the .NET 8 features during the upgrade process. But really, it's staged where first I do just make sure that it gets up to date with .NET 8. Then if I am able to and the client allows me to, then I would go through the rest of the code base and modernize that as well. Okay, so program.cs for Jew. I don't know why you aren't letting me wait. What? Oh, because that's client services. So state management worked. Gosh. Let's see if we have issues with the with those two. Actually, I'm gonna comment them out for now, but it is possible that we'll have issues with the client client services is the thing that specifically does the HTTP request to the server when we're running in WebAssembly. So that should be fine. The one that I'm afraid of that we might need is this JavaScript modules. But again, that is just because it's in a different namespace. Right. So that one will work. So it's only this client services that I would be leery of needing or not needing. Okay. Do we need a rebuild? Let's do a rebuild. Oh, we're so close. And then we'll have a quick chat about the future of the stream and how we're going to go about doing the work product stuff and some, as I mentioned, housekeeping surrounding that. And of course the L2J project. Okay, so we are back. The app is still running. And again, we don't really even see that initial loading thing that we got with Blazor WebAssembly, even when this page is a static page, essentially. Yeah, that's really awesome. Like what we were doing before in our Blazor WebAssembly app was we mocked the HTML output by pretty much just taking this DOM and pasting it into index.html inside of the app wrapper. And we don't need to do that anymore. Okay, so back to data entry. Any missing dependencies now? Nope. We got, oh man. Yeah, that was an issue too. I'll need to figure out what exactly causes that, but that pre-render state, it'll show up, it looks nice, and then it'll just go right back to this loading thing. And it's like, you already did the loading, just show the content. And then I refresh and it's fine. It's so weird. But yeah, you can see all of the content. It works fine, disappears after a second. I'll need to figure that out. But the point is, the .NET 8 upgrade did successfully work as far as being able to get the application running in the new Blazor template. So we're getting some 404s. And it's because we get the server side thing first, and then the switch to the WebAssembly lets use the client HTTP request, send it, and come back. So this is telling me that my controllers are not working as they should. So this is a request to account summary endpoint. Yeah, so it's not registering my controllers correctly. Yep. So my accounts controller, or maybe it's my lookups controller. Lookups controller, my transactions controllers, so my payments, for example, those aren't working when doing the HTTP client request to the backend. However, I should already have an example of this working. So I thought that it would be this add controllers with views that I could use, but I think there is one more thing in the middleware that I need to configure. So I'm going to look that up real quick, and then we'll have our chat. And then maybe if we don't get to it today, I'll make sure to have it written down, but we'll do this process again, but using the upgrade button in Visual Studio from the main branch. And we'll remember about globals.json too. I'm writing that down. Globals.json first. Okay, what am I looking for? Why am I opening something? I am opening water management. Are you the one that I converted? No, RMA water. So these here, these app names that you are seeing are the ones that we will be working on stream. And they are all their own individual app, each with their quirks, complications, and fun stuff. Crumble cakes. All right. App. RMA water Blazor. Tell me how we configured your controllers. DB context, Razor components, interactive server. So those are by default. Blazor local storage, ArcGIS client. I just saw it. Dang it. Here's my identity stuff. Add controllers. So just add controllers, not add controllers with views. And then anything in the middleware as far as being able to route to those controllers. Is it? No, that's identity. Map controllers. That's what it is. And it's at the very end. So instead of controllers with views, because we aren't returning any Razor views back with our controllers, we're just going to do add controllers. And we need to do app.map controllers in our middleware. Okay. Pretty sure you're going to need a rebuild or a rerun at least. It didn't do a rude edit. That is so weird. But we definitely made a change where we need to restart the app in order for it to take effect. I just noticed today how wide the line number column is, and I can't unsee it now. Like this gutter area next to the line numbers. Yeah, for things like bookmark. Oh, that's all the way over here. What exactly is that gutter for? You know? Is it because they wanted to leave space for higher numbered things? They're like, just make it 5 characters wide, regardless of how many lines they have in their file. Data entry. Yes, there we go. Fixed. Yeah, this was an issue that I saw Findle having on his stream when he was playing with Blazor, and he was using .NET 8 with the new Blazor web app template, which is, here's this pre-render that happens, and it displays the information from the Blazor server process, then it goes back to loading, and then displays the same information. So for me, that is just a new way of thinking how to display the information, where even when it's loading again, I don't show the loading unless the current result is null. So I think I'll be able to do that. 8 bits per play Unity overhaul fund. So anyway, full upgrade complete and successful. The steps we took, and that I'm sure we could have left the other projects in there as well, which we're going to try again when we get to it, is we checked for globals.json first. Or is it just singular global? Global.json first. Made sure that that has a .NET 8 version that we can use, or just delete it if it's going to use the current version of .NET without any issues. I had that file because I was downloading preview versions of the .NET SDK on this machine, and I wanted this app to continue working while we streamed it, and it was stuck in .NET 6, maybe 5 at the time. And then we upgraded it to .NET 7, and we just remembered to update global.json. So anyway, update global.json. Step 2, retarget all of the projects to target framework.NET 8. Step 3, update all NuGet packages for all projects to .NET 8 compatible ones, unless you run into issues with some of them that just don't want to update because of conflicts. I'm going to remove all the ones from the test. Oh, that's actually in test as well. Okay, so let's only do the migrations for the database. Ignore all of these test ones. Actually, just click on this one. Update. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the test library, but for whatever reason, there are some incompatibilities with .NET 8 test stuff. Here's the message again if anyone knows what it means. Version conflict detected for angle sharp, which is install a reference directly to angle sharp 1.1.2 to resolve the issue. I guess I can just do that. I just don't want to see those other libraries needing an update. Oh, geez, no, stop. Stop. That was dumb. Dang it. So now here's this Angle Sharp CSS beta 139. It looks like BUnit is referencing some libraries directly, some specific libraries. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with that. Okay, we'll leave it at that. There's going to be one update, which is going to be BUnit, and that's fine for now. So let's go ahead and commit this and do update to net 8, including references plus new Blazor project. That's a really big commit. I probably should have done the new Blazor Web 8 project after doing the .NET 8 upgrade of everything else, but it's what I did. Ops. And actually, you know what? I could still split it up and just stage the previous stuff for the .NET 8 upgrade and then the web app update. I'm going to do that. Let's just show what that would look like. So if I go here and I reset, keep changes, don't delete changes, otherwise you lose all of the work that you just did. Then we take the app. Okay, so everything below app gets staged first. Man, except that I have changes to the solution file that includes adding the app folder. Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess what I could do then, yeah, let's do it this way. Let's go all of the libraries except for test. Upgrade libraries. Oh, you gotta actually stage them. So the only thing left here are the application types, right? And the test project. So upgrade libraries to net 8 as one commit. Then the rest of these commits are going to be for adding net 8 project. And what I'm going to look forward to is a .NET 9. Ooh, very good to know. So TBD said that BUnit takes a dependency on AngularSharp because it lets you verify the DOM, as is a library for DOM parsing. Oh, sorry. AngularSharp is a library for DOM parsing and diffing, which is cool. It's just that they're they have a dependency on a beta version somewhere in there. Okay, so we're keeping that. I'm happy with it. .NET 8 upgrade was successful. Let's talk really quick. So I gave the option on Friday for one of 3 possibilities for what we're going to stream in the future. The vote was for streaming my work product. The thing that I forgot to add in there, and I said this at the top of the stream, so it's going to be repetitive for a lot of people. The thing that I forgot to add in there is the option for taking this L2J Java private server and converting it to C#. So Lineage 2 is an MMO. We have a private server version that was available on the interwebs and is usable. I don't think there's any legal issues with using the private server itself, the code for the private server. You can see that it is Java. And so right now, while my wife and I are playing through it, or we're playing through it, we ran into a whole bunch of issues where, now let's see something interesting. Game, source, name, Java game server, script. Not where I thought we were. Instance. Okay, so instance manager, for example, let's say the layer of, it's not even in here. Auction manager. I don't know. Anyway, so my wife and I are playing through this. We're finding issues. There's NPC quest dialogue that is just wrong. It's not localized very well to English, and we certain quests and stuff are just broken. And so we've been updating them and getting them to work on our version, but I was like, it would be nice if it was in C#. I had IntelliSense, I had syntax highlighting, my symbols weren't broken, so there are a whole bunch of scripts for the quests. Yeah, I should have went to Datapack. This is the place that I live in the most. Main, Datapack. Quests. So yeah, these quests, for example, that don't get compiled at compile time. Instead, the Java files live in the same folder as the server, and then when you start the server, it compiles them in memory and loads all of the quests in memory. And so we would make a change, we'd have to restart the server, blah, 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 blah. But there are things in here that are referencing like get quest state. There is no in editor reference to get quest state, so I have to find, or maybe there is, I don't know. Yeah, it's in the parent. But if it's something off of like player or L2 NPC, then these things are not easy to get to and find out what they're supposed to do. So it'd be nice to have references to those things. This would be a lot of fun for me. I do think that working on my work product on stream would be beneficial to viewers to see what a normal work process looks like for a solo developer that is working on real life projects. I mean, I've done it before and it seemed to be pretty, it worked well. Yeah, I don't know. So TBD was asking, what do you feel most energized about doing? I guess what I'm trying to get at with the work product is I feel like I have been distracting myself a little bit more than usual on my work product during the day outside of the stream. And being able to stream, so this is what it would look like if we were to stream the work product. I would probably start my stream an hour to an hour and a half earlier, and then I would go until around 1:30. So I would go for 4 hours essentially, and the majority of the stream time would be, oh gosh, I had a better spiel for this. Let me say it this way. I would start my stream earlier, end it later, so it'd be about a 4-hour stream, but I would be more focused on the work that I'm doing than I have been with like the financial management tracker. We derail often and we sidetrack, and it's fun and it's great. But because I'll be on work time, then I'll want to pay more attention to the work that I'm doing, and I'll be less tolerant of anything that would look like troll-like behavior to me. And it's not tolerant, I would just ignore it. I wouldn't follow the trolly behavior. So you'll get a more serious one lion because he'll be focused on doing his work. At the same time, I think that that would also help me stay focused on work, because I do feel like not only am I on the clock, but because I am streaming as well, I have a chance to be more distracted that way. So I'll double down my efforts to be focused on the job and getting the work done, because I owe it to my client. They should get the highest quality work from me that they can get. So I think it would help me with that goal. So TBD says, which is fair. There's a time for play. There's a time for work. If I were doing Liquid Sky full-time on stream, I'd be way less willing to chat. Work ethic and all. Yep. But I mean, I'll still chat with you. I'll engage. We can have conversations. But anything that does feel like, and that's what it is. That's the housekeeping part, which is like there'll be some ground rules that say if I interpret whatever it is as trolley behavior, I can choose to ignore it, and I will let you know up front that that's what I am doing. And then it kind of, I don't know how to say this tactfully, it kind of takes the burden off of me to not offend you when whoever is being trolly, when I don't engage or don't appreciate, when I actually verbalize not appreciating the trolley behavior. Yeah. So that part is pretty difficult for me, because I want everyone to feel heard. And there are the occasional persons that do like to troll, and that's how they enjoy themselves. That's how they get fulfillment. And I don't want those people to make me start treating everyone as, oh, you're just a troll, you're just saying these things and you don't need attention, or you shouldn't get attention because it's just a waste of time. I want to treat everyone as if they are worth time, worth anyone's time. So yeah, it will be a little bit more strict in that regard if I stream my day job. longer streams. To start off with, it'll still be, at least for the remainder of this week, if we are doing work product, for the remainder of this week, it'll still be the same schedule. But starting on Wednesday, we will get an introduction to the applications and everything like that. Then for the week following, there'll be some stream preparation stuff that we'll need to do at the same time, like updating tiles, this marquee here. I will not be posting the VODs for the work products to YouTube after the streams, only for the community days that will continue to happen on Fridays for 2 hours from same time frame, same time slot. And yeah, and then after that, after we get everything solidified and it's rolling smoothly, then I'll add in Tuesdays and Thursdays. But the thing about streaming my workday is that I will take breaks. You will see me take breaks. I'll take phone calls, I'll answer emails, and that's where my attention will go to first, and then to my code, and then if there is mental bandwidth, then whatever conversations we have. But I will still have community days on Fridays, like I said, at the same time, and that is fully focused on conversations with you and engaging with you. Yeah. So with that in mind, I don't know if it's fair for me to do this since we did have a poll on Friday, but I kind of want to put up a poll for 5 minutes on should we do the playing, like, I mean, I'm still going to do this as good as possible, try to employ good practices while converting this Java server. This is all server side stuff, so there'll be no UI side stuff that we'll be able to see because of it. But all of the, well, there might be, because I want some utilities to be able to manage some of these files using a web utility. But anyway, work on this thing, convert Java to C#. I would love to be able to do that. I don't think that I would have very much time to do it off stream since I'm devoting that time to doing music. Yeah, and it just seems like it would be a lot of fun. And then of course, this would be open source as well. I don't know if you see the license here, but the license is, it's free software as is. You can modify it and redistribute it under GNU v3 or higher. Yeah, so I will open source what we're doing. If you would want to use this server, you'd have to find your own client in order to play it. Just know that it would be based on High5. Co-working takes on a different perspective. No expectation of reading all the messages, no expectation of interaction. If chat gets into chat, you leave it to the mods or just ignore. And that's the thing though. I think I would still read off just about all chat that happens unless it gets to a, all right, now I'm only reading chat for the past 15 minutes, but that could be a Pomodoro session. I could just say, okay, I'm going to take a break now for 15 minutes to read chat. Or actually it would be more like a 5-minute break from my Pomodoro session. Oh gosh. I don't really do Pomodoro, but yeah, it is an option. So I'll do that real quick. And if anyone does want to participate in the poll, if the person who was the only person that voted last time doesn't think this is cool, just PM me. But for now, I'm going to do a new poll. And it's last choice thing. It's going to be C# to Java. Or Java to C#. What? Yeah, everyone would want to see that one. Java to C# or work product. 5 minutes go. Cool. Okay, so the poll will be up for 5 minutes. While that's going, we'll go ahead and go back to main so that we can set up this branch for the next time. And then I'll remember. Why aren't you displaying which windows are there? Okay, so we've pushed this branch, which is cool, but we're going to go back to main, as I mentioned. And then the other thing that I'm probably going to do in the future is I do 2 hours of music. So this is another thing that would be cool for if I do my work product. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I currently hold the same schedule, but because I don't stream for 2 hours, I end my workday seemingly 2 hours earlier. And then I spend those last 2 hours working on music. Because I want to get better at doing music and I just think it's fun. But I'm thinking of eventually getting to a place where we could explore creative music stuff. Not even like, you guys might not be the audience for it. So I do have another channel that I would use. It would still have the prefix name One Lion on it, but it would be more along the lines of doing creative things like storytelling, music, art, all that stuff. Doing that for the 2 hours at the end of the workday. Yeah. On a completely different channel. And those would most likely get VODs and get posted to YouTube and all that stuff. But again, on a different channel. Okay. Main. New branch. Who dis? Task. 55 alternate upgrade to net 8. So this is the branch that we're going to use for wait, why didn't I did create that off of main, right? I did. Why isn't global.json in main? Weird. Okay, anyway. So this is going to be ready for Wednesday, where we will try the right click and upgrade to net 8. I am interested to know if it will detect the global.json and see that there is a version 7 value in there. That'd be cool to find out. Okay, there is a little bit left. Vote now, vote early, something. What happened to my Windows? There are supposedly 2 Visual Studio instances open on this display, and when I mouse over it, it's not giving me the thing. Yeah, so I am glad that it was you, TBD, and that voted last time, and you think it was fair for me to do this. I know one other person that was interested in seeing the work product was Scod, and again, it's something that I have done before, but I don't know. I have a pretty high interest in turning this library into a C# library, and this server into a C# server that works with any clients that you might find on the interwebs. Just have fun regardless. That's all I care about, really. Cool. But that also means that I'm gonna have to double down on my work ethic. Like, I don't even know what's been happening lately. Is there a display this? Anyway, the winner is the L2J server to C#. So we will be doing that after we do the upgrade again on Wednesday. We'll continue with that. We'll still see what the schedule looks like in the future. I may still add a couple days, like the Tuesday and Thursday stream, why not? And then maybe on occasion still do the potential music streams on either Tuesday or Thursday on the other channel. So that said, we have an answer. Isn't there like a button to say show results or something on stream on anyway, it's up there. 42 is the right answer. You got it. You got it. Man, that's still so weird. Okay. You are going to close. Are you detecting any changes like deleted files? No. Wait, where are we back? Oh, that's arming water. Fine. Fine. Okay. Well, anyway, that's where we're going to be. Then we'll talk about it more, and there's still the potential to do work-related things if, like, I mean, we aren't constrained to just that. Like, I felt that the financial management application was something that I really wanted to do and get to this point, and it is at this point, and now it's usable. It looks a little bit better than it was before. The data entry pages could use a little bit more styling, but I'm going to do that on my own time since that's an application that I'm going to use. But once we do the last attempt at the, or not attempt, but try the upgrade assistant on Wednesday, we're going to be officially done with the financial management tracker, and we'll start on finding out what it would take to convert this library to C#. Man, I'm going to heavily rely on Nick Chapsis's work that he's already done on a similar project. It's just he's stopped at some point in time. And thank you, Irish John Games. Thank you so much for lurking. Thank you for saying hi. I need a raid target. The only people that are currently still live in my multi-stream are Woodstev and who are you? Tomat Salat. And if I check my who I follow, I see 8-Bits, I see Dragon Spirit, I see, whoa, Gage. You're not wearing any underwear. Mine is offline. Okay, any preferences? If not, we will head over to, what exactly are you working in? Unity? Yeah, these are all Unity devs that I'm watching. Definitely, if you have the chance, check out Irish John Games in about 30 minutes. He is still, well, I don't know. I wasn't there this weekend, so I don't know for sure. Let me see. Let me go to your stream. Is there a badge? Is there a badge next to your name? Okay, so he's still, I think, waiting on word back from Twitch to know if he got partner. So if you could continue supporting him, then please do check him out. Irish John Games. He is the creator of Rise of Piracy. It's going to be a turn-based. It's going to be a real-time strategy game that plays a lot like Mount and Blade, but with pirate ships, according to him. I won't say too much about it because he doesn't like us taking too much time, but we're not in the middle of a stream. We're ending a stream, so it's good. It's good. He is being published by Microprose, which is awesome. And there it is. Thank you so much, Stream Elements. How did I know that that was going to happen? I didn't know. So you can check the game out either on Steam or on the Microprose site. But yeah, he's still going for partner, and if you can show up early, lurk, or actively be there, it would be very, very helpful. I'll see you on his stream if you do go there. But for now, let us /raid. Who did I say we were going to raid? Tomat Salat. Even though I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name. Okay. So we got the raid going. Yeah, I'll be back again on Wednesday, like I said, same time for the .NET 8 upgrade using the upgrade assistant, as well as to solidify our lessons learned from this time around with the upgrade attempt. You'll see me lurking on many people's streams, usually 4 people at a time. They're mostly game devs. Everyone from Manadano, Red Squirt, Dragon Spirit Games, Tim Bodette on occasion, Woods Dev, Tomatsalat, Irish John Games, definitely. You'll see me on TBD Gamer's stream, on Emporium Guy when he streams earlier in the day, Mojo Fawad, all these people that I should be giving shoutouts to right now, but I'm too busy waving. Science streams, don't forget science streams. Amazing science related stream, if you couldn't tell by the name. Twitch ambassador by the name of Balint and his wife Leela. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't be talking about this because I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Ciao.